Hi, it's Scott Allen for The Raw. Let's have a look at some detail out of last weekend's match between the Wallabies and Springboks. First, let's look at defence, where the Wallabies just aren't working hard enough off the ball to get into a defensive structure. In this example, we'll have a look at how the Wallabies react in defence after a turnover. Folau takes the ball in, but you have to ask, how can John de Villiers be considered to have rolled away and not impeded the ball coming back? Clearly this is a ruck. There's two players now over the ball competing for the ball, so if it's a ruck, you can't play the ball on the ground. And as you'll see in a minute, the ball is still in the ruck on the ground, and yet Bismarck du Plessis comes in and plays it, and the referee standing there allows it to go on. But regardless of that, let's watch what the Wallabies now do. This is 1 minute into the game, so these aren't fatigue issues. There should be alarm bells ringing, urgently getting into line to match the Springbok numbers. But as you can see on this side of the field, the Wallabies have got 4 in the line. The Springboks get 6 in there. Now, if the Springboks had passed the ball out here, the Wallabies were in trouble early. Fortunately, they don't. But as we now start to look at the second phase, you'll see that even on this second phase, they haven't got the numbers right. There are 4 on this side of the ruck for the Wallabies, only 2 for the Springboks. If you look at the numbers on the far side for the Springboks, they've got 1,000 on that side, and there's only 4 in the front line for the Wallabies. Again, if they'd passed the ball here, look at the space down the right touch line. So we get to the third phase. This time we've got the numbers right. It's 4 on 4, but you can see the box are a little wider. The Wallabies are having to push across field to catch up to them. It's only on the fourth phase of this play that the Wallabies finally get their defensive line set and have matched the numbers of the Springboks. It's just too slow, and every week we're seeing the same overlaps opening up. The Wallabies have got to work harder off the ball. Now to some of the attack within the game plan. The Wallabies have said they want to play an expansive game plan, move the ball away from the ruck. But you can't do that if you haven't got the ball, and largely that comes down to support at the breakdown. In this example, there's a real traffic jam around the ruck, and quite rightly the Wallabies want to move the ball away from that area. The problem is, they've only got a ball carrier plus 1 supporter as an option. That's going to mean another player has to come in so we get at least a ball carrier plus 2, but it makes it very hard to win the ball cleanly at the ruck so you can play on your next phase. As Leolofano's tackled, Hooper's the first in and gets rid of a threat. Ashley Cooper's going to get over the ball to protect it. The Wallabies probably need one other, and that would have been Fardy coming around the corner. Unfortunately, the Wallabies aren't getting the balance right here, so that Fardy and the other forwards are going to concentrate more on being in position to attack on the next phase than protecting the ball. It's hard to see how Lowe makes a clear release here before he's playing for the ball, but you can't rely on the referee. You need to do something about it, and that's where the Wallabies need this extra man. As it is, Ashley Cooper can't hold him. It makes it very hard for Genia to get clean ball on the next phase. This next clip shows a number of the Wallabies' problems in one play. 1, the high ball bounces. 2, Folau does a great job to move the ball into the midfield here in space. Look at the numbers in the space if he passes the ball now. But as we've seen in 2013, the Wallabies don't seem able to recognise these opportunities. It's basic decision making, and it shouldn't be missed by international standard players. Folau takes the ball into contact, and as you can see there are Springboks everywhere, and there's only Moen who gets anywhere close to the breakdown. Fardy arrives, but by then it's too late, and again it's another turnover, wasted opportunities for the Wallabies. Now I know the next clip's later in the game, but when Scott Sio gets knocked over, there's 3 players close to the tackle, 2 Wallabies, 1 Springbok. Who's more desperate to get in there and secure this ball? You would have thought Ben Moen's a fair chance to get in first over this ball, but as we'll see, it's Strauss that's more desperate. He gets in first, he's lower than both Moen and Folau, and as a result he's able to steal the ball. And even though Fardy now arrives and helps, Strauss has already stolen the ball. It's another possession turned over. And again, this is a recurring theme week after week. Now to some more examples of what's happening with the Wallabies' attack. I know there are a lot of people talking about the fact that the Wallabies 10, whoever it is, needs to take the ball to the line more. And I'm a big believer in that. Sometimes, though, that's not what's required. And here's a perfect example. The space is clearly out wide. If Cooper takes the ball to the line, he's going to take space away from his outside men. What's actually required here is an early ball from Cooper and then an early ball from Leolofano. And at this point, if Leolofano passes the ball, it's a 3-on-2 and O'Connor's a good chance in the corner. Instead, with Leolofano taking the ball to the line, the opportunity's lost because he takes the space away from Folau to the point where the ball's intercepted. In the next example, you can see the Wallabies have got their attack spread all the way to the touchline, but the Boks have got them matched and they're going to move forward very quickly. So Cooper takes the great option of a kick in behind the line. It's really well executed and Folau knows it's on, puts in a very good chase. But Folau's like a shag on a rock. There's no support. Look at Genia, he's stopped. He's not expecting Folau to get the ball back, and he's dropped back to receive a kick. The two closest supporters to Folau are a lock and a prop. It's almost as though the Wallabies have never trained for this sort of option to come up in a match. When Folau's tackled, Slipper does a really good job with his clean out, and so does Douglas to get in and protect the ball. But look at the number of Springboks around the ball compared to Wallabies. They're more urgent. Because Genia held back, it's Kepu that has to go to the base of the ruck, and there is space out to the right, but it's shut down very quickly. Cooper takes the right decision here to take the ball in. As we come back and look at the wide shot for the next phase, you can see the Wallabies are spread all the way to the far touchline, but the Springboks have got them covered out wide, and the space is really in between aiming at the posts. The problem there is the Wallabies have only got Moen as a ball carrier, and he's got one supporter in Douglas behind him. So again, with just a ball carrier plus one, Douglas is going to have to be very efficient to get clean ball here for the Wallabies, and he slightly overruns him, so he's not efficient with his breakdown work, and it's very scrappy. Moen tries an offload, and fortunately it's knocked down. The Wallabies get the ball back. Here's another example of missed opportunities. O'Connor takes the ball, shifts it to Folau. The space is clearly out wide. Ashley Cooper now, if he takes two paces and delivers the ball, it's a 2-on-1 outside. He chooses not to pass the ball, runs back into traffic, and again, the Springboks are hungrier. They're in better position at the breakdown. They get over the ball. It would have been a turnover, but for the knock-on. The Wallabies were very lucky to maintain that. But again, how did Ashley Cooper miss that opportunity? Here's an opportunity from set piece. The Wallabies have stationed Folau on the right side of the field as the decoy, and with the ball coming out to Cooper, if he takes the ball to the line, there will be no opportunity. But if he gives the ball immediately to Lealifano and then loops around to get the ball back, look at the space Cummins is on at the bottom of the screen. All Cooper needs is the ball back from Lealifano, but unfortunately they can't execute, and it's going to be another opportunity lost. The good news here is, look at the fact that Hooper and Moen both got into that breakdown early, and as a result, the Wallabies win the breakdown penalty rather than the Springboks. In this example, the space is again on the far touchline. If Cooper runs the ball, there will be no opportunity. What he needs to do is move the ball wide and quickly, which he does with a great pass. If Ashley Cooper passes now, there's a 2-on-1 outside him. But I know it's getting repetitive, it's another opportunity lost. In the next example, we'll see a really good line from Ben Alexander, who runs a different angle coming back on the inside to help hold defenders. Cooper takes the ball to the line, holds some defenders. It's great work from Lealifano, and then Slipper with the run. But look how far back the support runners are from him. He's a bit isolated. Fortunately, Cooper doubles around, takes the second touch, gets a good offload, makes a good offload to Folau. Folau creates an opportunity, and Lealifano really should have held this ball. You just can't waste opportunities like that. Here's another one with the spaces on the right touchline, and again, Cooper's got to get the ball out there quickly. He's got the pass to do it. Folau straightens, draws his man, passes. Ashley Cooper straightens, draws his man and passes, and look at the result. So the Wallabies' expansive game plan could have taken advantage of these opportunities, they just weren't executing. And finally, a set-piece play from the Wallabies. Lealifano at first receiver, Cooper out the back as a decoy, and a flat ball to Ashley Cooper. The opportunity is created, but let down by poor execution again. I can't believe that the Wallabies coach is going to have to dumb down the game plan to cover for these basic errors.